I've recently discovered or realized the significance that stock media creation has played in my life in recent years. Some years ago, we lived in the United States and we moved to take a new job in Moscow, Russia. It's a little bit like I moved recently here to take a job in the United Arab Emirates. And at that time, when I got there, it was a new job. It was very busy. I'd work, I'd come home, have a little break, and then I'd just work in the evenings. And my wife pulled me aside and she said that I was headed for some kind of anxiety attack or nervous breakdown. I didn't feel it. I felt that I was very much satisfied with my life and happy with what I was doing. But I think she was right. And so I started looking around for something to do. This was like around 2012. And before that, when we lived in the United States, I had a wood shop. And for family, friends, neighbors, anybody, if somebody would pay for the wood, I would build them dressers, cabinets, jewelry boxes, even do wood carving, whatever they wanted, as long as they were paying for the supplies. And this gave me great satisfaction because I was producing something that was useful. Well, I couldn't do that in Moscow. I didn't have a garage, didn't have a place where I could put a shop, and it wasn't practical. And I just decided to do something I had done when I was younger, which was photography. So I got a point and shoot camera, and I started to really enjoy the creative aspect, the creative flow that it added to my life. I have a white collar job. Producing something that I could see at the end of the day gave me great satisfaction. The problem is that when you do that, when you produce something, unless it's being used, unless somebody's finding value in it, what good is it? Or at least that's how my brain works. I looked into other things. I didn't have good equipment. And my wife, when we came back, paid for me to go on one of those photograph adventures, workshops. The guy, David Schultz, who has since passed away not long after I went on that, he passed away suddenly and unexpectedly. He was a wildlife photographer, well known, National Geographic, had big social media platform. He had put all this work into building this business. Only 10% of his income, he told me, came from selling fine art and photography books and stuff like that. Most of his income came from doing workshops, from doing from public speaking, articles, vlogs, articles for photographic magazines. In other words, if you're going to do something with photography, especially fine art photography, wildlife photography, my favorite, Milky Way photography, you have to be an award-winning, very good photographer and put in all kinds of work into a storefront, a website, a printing business, a delivery system to get 10% of your income. Didn't have, may never have the ability to do that. And then there's the issue of talent. I don't think I have the talent to do that. I love the work of Richard Tati, of Royce Blair, of Eric Wilkes. These guys are inspiring. And I'm not there and I'll never be there. But I wanted to find a way to display my art and what I think of it, at least it's art to me. So pictures like this, and here are a few other examples. I really love these, but there's no opportunity that I see that I would ever have to sell them. Well, in about 2018, it was 2018, I thought I'm going to do stock photography. I opened an account with Adobe Stock and Shutterstock, and I started doing that. I uploaded a few videos as well. The videos sold with far greater value, with higher numbers. And I started doing more stock video. I watched a video, I'd watch all kinds of videos about creativity and how to tell stories and how to do photography and videography. And Jevon Dovey is still one of my favorites to watch and to learn from. And he did a thing about Blackbox, and so I started uploading to Blackbox. After a while, I became more successful, And this became a very meaningful outlet to me. I've only just realized over the years and recently, as we've been more isolated, we've been here in the Middle East, you know, there's been a lot of trouble. It's been all in the news. Iran and Israel, not to get into that, but it's really pinned us down, closed the airspace, made us feel a little bit more isolated. But still, what I have to turn to is this ability to create and to connect with people and to have people buy something that I made or created that is of value. And stock video and stock photography does have value. There are companies that depend on it. There are people that need it. They pay for it. The money to me is special. It not only validates what I'm doing, but it's like a score to me. To me, it's a score of success or of usefulness. And that's what I want to be. I want what I'm doing to be useful. I want what I'm doing to be used and to be appreciated. And I can't compete at certain levels, in part because of the time it takes for the social media and for the outreach and for to go into fairs and festivals and stuff. I can't do any of that, but I can do this. And that's why it's become meaningful to me, more meaningful than I would have thought. I've also made some really close friends. They're not close friends in proximity, but they're people that I video chat with, that I call, that I message almost on a daily basis. Tristan Turner, Michael Schneider, my friend Kaspers in Latvia. There's people out there, even Pat McGowan, when the Black Box was early on, would message some of the users, and I consider that. I mean, it was a great effort for him to help us develop all of that community, in addition to the ability to know that my stuff is out there, my art, my creations are out there being used and being useful. That is a significant thing to me. Now, you may do this primarily for income. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just telling you why this means a lot to me. And I feel the same way about this small channel. This is an unmonetized channel. The validation or the satisfaction I get is for the comments. And I realized that a lot of the comments recently, I didn't know how to use all the metrics and stuff. I'm still learning about that. And to me, the most important thing is connecting with you, talking to people, learning from, sharing my experience. That's what's important to me. But some of these people here that I'm going to list, they've commented and followed me from the beginning, encouraged me, and that's meaningful too. The whole thing of what I'm doing here allows me, and this just occurred to me, let me put it this way. I have a white collar lifestyle and job, and that's fine. I get a lot of satisfaction out of it. But at the end of the day, you think to yourself, what did I do? What did I produce? What meaning did I add to anybody's life? Well, this is a way that, and it's not, this isn't intellectual, this is psychological. This is how I feel in my head. My white collar work helps a lot of people. I build hospitals and schools in war-torn areas. I mean, how could you be, I mean, that is meaningful, but I don't see the end result, and I often feel like what I'm doing is just going to be torn down again through political conflict and all kinds of problems that the world has. But what can I do at the end of the day? I can make a picture. I can edit something. I can film. I can do a time lapse, and it can be useful to somebody. At the end of the day, I see something that I created and produced that is out there and giving me fulfillment. So my job is very fulfilling. I'm very happy with it. But this also fills a hole or fills a part of my life that I have come to find important and meaningful. And for that, I thank you.